Kakaisa.
In unity, there is strength.
Unity was the central promise of President Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Vice President Sara Duterte during the 2022 elections. But as the 2025 midterm elections draw near, this once celebrated partnership appears to be unraveling, revealing deeper divisions beneath the surface. How might their growing political rift reshape the upcoming race and influence voter sentiment? In this episode, MB explains how the Marcos-Duterte split could impact the 2025 elections. Political analysts said that the recent tensions between Marcos and Duterte had just resurfaced.
The split, to an extent, it's not a matter of starting per se, it's a matter of aggravating. So the split was aggravated when VP Sara Duterte did not get the national defense portfolio, and from there on, criticisms flying from either camp aggravated the split.
Sara Duterte decided against her father's very strong and public advice to forego the possibility of getting the top job, and instead, a little inexplicably to some extent, no? I mean, we know some of the immediate reasons why she was convinced, but still, I mean, she ran as his running mate instead.
For the first 3 years of the Marcos administration, both camps largely avoided direct confrontation. But when Sara Duterte issued strong remarks, including threats directed at Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Marcos, and Speaker Martin Romualdez, their political separation became unmistakably clear.
May drug addict tayo na presidente.
PRRD has been taking the drug for a very long time now.
I sought an audience with the President and tendered my resignation as the Secretary of Education.
Hindi kami magkaibigan. Unang-una, nagkakilala lang kami dahil naging running mate kami.
I'm a little dismayed to hear that she doesn't think that we are friends. But maybe I was deceived.
Gusto ko ang galin yung ulo niya ba?
Ahead of the 2022 elections, both camps steered clear of a divisive showdown between Marcos and Sara, wary that a split vote could pave the way for a third-party win.
I love you, BBM.
She stepped aside so Marcos could run, perhaps a decision she now questions. As the rift between them widens, how are political figures responding? The 2025 elections are expected to reshape political alliances as candidates navigate the growing divide between the Marcos and Duterte camps. Experts point to the Philippines' weak party system, where political parties often revolve around personalities rather than clear platforms or ideologies. This fragility has led to frequent shifts in loyalty, a practice known locally as balimbing or turncoatism. In the absence of strong party structures, many traditional politicians turn to broad political machinery as a means to gain and hold on to power.
With the Marcos faction, you have all the advantages of the administration. That's why we have the term balimbing, right? Or turncoat. If you're opposition, or if you're with the Dutertes, then probably a lot less favor, right? If you're with the Dutertes, you're really out as far as the admin would probably be concerned.
With both camps forming alliances, where does that leave Filipino voters? Do they have real alternatives beyond the Marcos and Duterte factions? You may wonder whether the 31 million voters from 2022 will still support candidates within the same political sphere or seek new alternatives. A January 2025 Tugon ng Masa survey by Octa Research shows that 36% of adult Filipinos support the Marcos administration, while 18% said that they were pro-Duterte. Meanwhile, 26% of respondents supported neither, while 12% declined to answer or were unsure. Only 8% of them said they support the opposition, with 36% supporting Marcos and 18% backing Duterte. 54% still align with the Marcos-Duterte ambit, a strong number that limits a third-party candidate's chances.
They would still vote for those within the Marcos-Duterte ambit. Okay? If some third-party candidate would be able to enter into that ambit without actually aligning explicitly with either camp, then great. That third-party candidate can gain more votes. I think the voting patterns will still remain within those two major parties. They'll just mix and match.
The upcoming elections may open opportunities for third-party candidates to run independently. To stand out, alternative candidates will need to present themselves effectively, offer clear platforms, and bring fresh perspectives to the political landscape.
It is a treacherous road for someone trying to project him or herself as an independent, because they must provide credible, resonant justifications to why they will not take a side if they want to cater or if they want to appeal to voters from the Marcos and Duterte camps.
The outcome of the 2025 elections could have lasting implications for both Sara Duterte and her father's political legacy. With impeachment proceedings against Vice President Duterte already in motion, the composition of the Magic 12 senators elected in 2025 may prove pivotal. In theory, a Senate dominated by administration-aligned candidates could wield greater influence over the direction and outcome of the process.
This has real implications because whoever wins, whoever makes it to the Magic 12, will become judges in Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. Of course, one hopes that the senators will, impartially and independently make a judgment on the impeachment of the vice president, a very serious matter. But as a result of weighing the evidence, and not just out of political or electoral considerations.
The election will also influence her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte's ICC arrest over crimes against humanity of murder.
You would now have at least two groups of people who must address that issue of Duterte's arrest, of the Duterte camp, Sara Duterte being cornered, being pushed to a corner. So you would have those politicians appealing to those, or must, at the very least, they must take a side.
Political divisions affect more than just candidates. They shape public perception. As tensions between the country's top leaders escalate, polarization deepens, with many Filipinos increasingly viewing one another through partisan lenses, rather than engaging in meaningful discourse. Instead of focusing on pressing national issues, opposing camps often mirror the combative tactics of their leaders, trading taunts rather than solutions. While traditional campaigning still matters, the real battleground is now on social media, where narratives are crafted and public opinion is powerfully swayed. Voters must make informed choices, not just by aligning with a political camp, but by standing up for their own needs and interests. Holding leaders accountable is essential. Citizens should urge the government to focus on addressing real societal concerns, rather than getting entangled in relentless political infighting. When political divisions take center stage, we lose sight of the fact that no side truly wins. In the end, it's the Filipino people who shoulder the consequences of these power struggles. Elections should serve as an opportunity to choose capable leaders, those who can steer the country toward a better, more united future.